The next Vice President of the United States of America, Senator J.D. Vance.
There's things to be done all over the world, but let's rebuild America first. Who's on the hill and who's watching the valley?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Well, Semper Fi, guys. We got some. It sounds like we got some fans and some haters. That's okay. Listen to what I have to say here, and I'll make my pitch. Trump and I are proud to be the most pro-worker Republican ticket in history, and I want to talk about why we're fighting for working people, why we're going to fight for unions and non-union alike. We're going to fight for you whether we get it or not. God bless you guys, and thank you.
Yikes. I mean, you know things are going rough for J.D. Vance when even the event he chooses to show up at is the place where he gets mercilessly booed. If this is where he decided to go, can you imagine what the places he chose not to attend would have been like? And here's the most telling part. These are the firefighters. These are the central casting guys that Donald Trump wants nothing more than to be a part of his campaign. And yet Trump and Vance are such phonies. They are so anti-worker, so anti-union, so anti-blue collar that far from getting the support of these people, they got boos instead. They got open hostility. And what this shows is that Americans are finally waking up to the con that Donald Trump and Republicans are pulling. These people ran an entire campaign in 2016 promising some populist revolution. And yet, what did Donald Trump actually do when he got to power? Did he pass a middle-class tax cut, a cheaper and more comprehensive healthcare plan, an infrastructure upgrade? Did he add jobs or lower costs or bring prescription drug prices down? He did literally none of that. He used his political capital to pass a tax cut for millionaires and billionaires. That's it. He helped himself and his rich buddies squirrel away yet more money. And yet now, they're pulling the exact same scheme, trying to once again frame themselves as these working class champions. But while it might have worked in 2016, it's not going to work again. Joke was on us the first time, joke's on Trump right now. And if you want to see what it actually looks like when someone is a working class champion, J.D. Vance might want to refer to his Democratic counterpart, Tim Walz.
So let me tell you exactly what Vice President Harris and I will do when we get elected. As president, then President Harris will sign the PRO Act, making it easier for unions to organize. We'll protect SAFER grant program. It's good to see you say this. If you have to spend any time thinking if you want to support the PRO Act, that pretty much tells you where you're at, because that's a pretty easy one. Same thing with the SAFER grant program. We know it's essential to helping serve and protect communities, especially as we starting to see intensive heat waves. We'll keep fighting to protect your retirement benefits, lowering taxes for working families, and finally making corporations just pay their fair share. They're doing fine. They're doing fine. They can pay their fair share. And again, things like Social Security, things like the GI Bill, programs that make a difference, paid family and medical leave, affordable child care so you can go do your job. That just makes sure that families aren't just surviving and getting by, but they're thriving and getting ahead.
And you want to know why people actually believe Tim Walz and Kamala Harris when they promise to stand up for the working class and regular Americans? It's because they've already done it. Because they've given us a reason to believe them. Biden and Harris have been in office for almost 4 years, and it was them who passed $35 insulin and inhalers. It was them who eliminated junk fees at banks, who mandated instant refunds for airline cancellations, who upgraded our infrastructure, including broadband internet for rural Americans, who got veterans health care with the PACT Act, who capped out-of-pocket healthcare costs at $2,000, who brought 800,000 manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. Americans trust Democrats to stand up for them because they're doing it right now. Americans don't trust Republicans because they've never bothered earning it. Now, as for Vance's poor showing here, I know you're not going to believe this, but it actually managed to get worse for the Republican vice presidential candidate.
The Republican and Democrat conventions we just had, it says a lot who each party chose to put up on that stage. At the Republican convention, we were featuring everyday American workers, and of course, we had Hulk Hogan. And while it's tempting, and I'm sure it would make some big headlines, don't worry, everybody, I'm not going to try to take off my shirt here.
Dear God. All that money going into the Trump campaign, all that grifting, all those NFTs and trading cards and those sneakers for sale, and not a single dollar spent on a writer who has even a tangential relationship with comedy. And let's be clear, Vance's bizarre relationship with humanity is well documented. Here's his now very famous interaction with a donut shop worker, in which I can only assume it was Vance's first day face-to-face with another human being.
The zoo has come to town. Thank you for letting us come in here.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, man. Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything. Appreciate that, man. I'm J.D. Vance. I'm running for vice president. Good to see you.
Okay.
How long are you working?
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Okay, good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, good. Just everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glazed here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense. How long has this place been around?
About 4 years.
About 4 years? Okay. How long have you been here?
A little over 6 months.
Okay, good.
If you needed to fully understand Donald Trump's fall from grace, he went from being the self-proclaimed king of charisma to now sharing a ticket with someone who makes Ron DeSantis seem like George Clooney. And look, the weirdness of J.D. Vance, and by the way, Donald Trump himself, who's out there applauding a make-believe cannibal and whining about the water pressure in his toilet, would be bad enough unto itself. But the fact that their creepiness isn't even their biggest political liability right now goes to show how much of a disaster this Republican ticket actually is. These people are such frauds that even the organizations whose leadership endorses them don't believe they'll work for them. They are such phonies that the whole country knows are looking out for themselves. Donald Trump is running to stay out of prison. He's running to lower his own tax rate. Vance is out there doing the bidding of the Silicon Valley billionaires who are propping him up. These people exist to serve themselves and their wealthy donors, and that is the only thing people believe about them. The fact that they're getting booed wherever they go is a reflection of the fact that their shtick is tired and that Americans know better. If they stop pretending to care about regular Americans, that would be the first honest thing that we've seen out of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Before you go, just a quick note, if you'd like to see more of my content, which is always free of advertising, sponsorships, and paywalls, please make sure to subscribe to this channel using the subscribe button right here on the screen. And if you'd like to support my work even further, you can grab a copy of my instant #1 New York Times selling book, Shameless, available for sale right now. That link is also on the screen. Thanks so much for watching.